Milktastic, Mr. Milkman. You know what I'm saying? You ever had one of those loads? Seemed like a load from hell. From the time you went to pick it up, it was a problem. To the time you dropped it off, it was a freaking problem. Thank God this was one of those loads where the truck didn't have problems. The truck was pretty smooth, but man, when I tell you the loading and unloading process is like no organization. I wanted to do something a little different before we get to read. I'm gonna let y'all listen to a little something that I'm listening to because I like what he's talking about right here.
Crowd. Imagine this. There are countless people out there competing for the same goal as you. They're hungry. They want success as much as you do. So what are you going to do? Relax while they're working hard. No, you're going to get into the ring and fight harder than ever. You'll wake up earlier, work late, and while everyone else is watching TV or browsing the internet, you'll be out there doing what needs to be done. It's not easy, I know, but that's what separates winners from losers. Winners do what needs to be done, even when they don't want to. They don't wait for motivation. They create their own motivation. They don't wait for things to happen. They make them happen.
And that's what I want. That's what I'm on. Like, I gotta start sleeping better though, because it don't take for me to not sleep good to do what I'm doing. So I gotta get my sleeping better. But for right now, I feel pressured to like be better than I ever been as far as financials, because this right here is not a game. I need M's like to be able to come on here, go live and show y'all $1 million in cash and have $1 million in the bank and in that bank and in that bank and all over. You understand? Like, this is not a game. This is serious things that I'm speaking on when I say millionaire mission. I ain't playing. So I make sure y'all hit me up. Y'all order some shirts or something, support your boy some type of way. Yeah, it is. Let's get to it though. All right. All right, we on Deuteronomy, chapter 32, the song of Moses. Give ear, O heavens, and let me speak, and let the earth hear the words of my mouth. Let my teachings drop as the rain, my speech distill as the dew, as the droplets on the flesh grass, as the showers on the herb. For I proclaim the name of the Lord. Ascribe greatness to our God, the rock. His work is perfect, for all his ways are just. A God of faithfulness and without injustice. Righteous and upright is he. They have acted corruptly. They have acted corruptly towards him. They are not his children because of their defect, but are a perverse and crooked generation. Do you thus repay the Lord, O foolish and unwise people? Is he not your father who has brought you? He has made you and established you. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of all generations. Ask your father and he will inform you. Your elders and they will tell you. When the Most High gave the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of man, he set the boundaries of the people according to the number of the sons of Israel, for the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the atonement of his inheritance. He found him in a desert land and in the howling waste of a wilderness. He encircled him, he cared for him, he guarded him as the pupil of his eye. Like an eagle that stirs up his nest, that hovers over his young, he spreads his wings and caught them. He carried them on his pinions. The Lord alone guided him, and there was no foreign God with him. He made him ride on high places of the earth, and he ate the produce of the field. And he made him suck honey from the rock, and oil from the flinty rock, curds of cow and milk of the flock, with fat of lambs and of rams, the bread of the Bashan and goats, with the finest of the wheat, and of the blood of grapes you drank wine. But Jeshurun grew fat and kicked. You grown fat, thick, and sleek. Then he forsook God who made him, and scorned the rock of his salvation. They made him jealous with strange gods. With ambition, they provoked him to anger. They sacrificed to demons who were not God, to gods whom they have not known, new gods who came lately, whom your fathers did not dread. You neglected the rock who begot you, and forgot the God who gave you birth. The Lord saw this and spurned them, because of this provocation of his sons and daughters. Then he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be. For they are a perverse generation, sons in whom is no faithfulness. They have made me jealous with what is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their idols. So I will make them jealous with those who are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. For a fire is kindled in my anger, and burns to the lowest part of Sheol, and consumes the earth with its yield, and sets on fire the foundations of the mountains. I will heap misfortune on them. I will use my arrows on them. I will be wasted by famine. They will be wasted by famine and consumed by plague and bitter destruction, and the teeth of the beast I will send upon them, with venom of crawling things of the dust. Outside the sword will be rape, and inside terror, both young man and virgin. The nursling with the man of gray hair, I will have said, I will cut them to pieces. I will remove the memory of them men. I will remove the memory of them from man. Had I not feared the provocation by the enemy, that their adversaries would misjudge, that they would say, our hand is triumph, and the Lord has not done all this. For they are a nation lacking in counsel, and there is no understanding in them. Would that they were wise, that they understood this, that they would discern their future. How could one chase 1,000, and two put 10,000 to flight, unless their rock had sold them, and the Lord had given them up? Indeed, their rock is not like our rock. Even our enemies themselves judge this. For their vines is from the vines of Sodom, and from the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of poison, their clusters bitter. Their wine is the venom of serpents, and the deadly poison of cobras. It is not laid up in the store with me, sealed up in my treasures. Is it not laid up in the store with me, sealed up in my treasure? Vengeance is mine, and retribution in due time. Their foot will slip, for the day of their calamity is near, and the impeding things are hastening upon them. For the Lord will vindicate his people, and will have compassion on his servants. When he sees that their strength is gone, and there is none remaining, bond are free, and he will say, where are their gods? The rock in which they sought refuge, who ate the fat of their sacrifices, and drank the wine of their drink offering. Let them rise up and help you. Let them be your hiding place. See now that I am he, and there is no God besides me. It is I who put to death and give life. I have wounded, and it is I who heal. And there is no one who can deliver from my hand. Indeed, I lift up my hand to heaven, and say as I live forever, if I sharpen my flashing sword, and my hand takes hold on justice, I will render vengeance on my adversaries, and I will repay those who hate me. I will make my arrows drunk with blood, and my sword will devour flesh with the blood of the slain and the captives from the long-haired leaders of the enemy. Rejoice, O nations, with his peoples, for he will avenge the blood of his servants, and he will render vengeance on his adversaries, and will atone for his land and his people. Then Moses came and spoke all the words of this song in the hearing of the people. He with Joshua the son of Nun. When Moses has finished speaking all these words to all Israel, he said to them, take to your heart all the words which I am warning you today, which you shall command your sons to observe carefully, even all the words of this law. For it is not an idle word for you. Indeed, it is your life. And by this word you will prolong your days in the land, which you are about to cross to the Jordan. You are about to cross the Jordan to possess. The Lord spoke to Moses that very same day, saying, Go up to this mountain of Abraham, Mount Nebo, which is in the land of Moab, opposite Jericho, and look at the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the sons of Israel for a possession. Then die on the mountain where you ascend, Then die on the mountain where you ascend, and be gathered to your people, as Aaron your brother died on Mount Hor and was gathered to his people, because you broke faith with me in the midst of the sons of Israel at the waters of Meribah Kadesh in the wilderness of Zin, because you did not treat me as holy in the midst of the sons of Israel. For you shall see the land at a distance, but you shall not go there, into the land which I am giving the sons of Israel. All right, and you know what? It's like you can't really rush nothing. You can't rush greatness. You can't rush what's going to come when it's going to come. You just got to stay the course and stay focused and do what needs to be done. And things been so sideways. I think we need 2 verses today, because I just need the devil to get slapped around and about my face and from around the way, and let them know this ain't the place to play. We is God's child. This is not the playground for you, sir. Stop throwing darts. Has been making me confused a little bit, but I'm pretty much getting my stuff together and getting back on track. I just got to get back to setting my goals, writing them down. If you don't know, now you know. And writing down your goals is more important than just having them in your head. You got to have those goals that you want to accomplish. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those are immediate goals. 3 really, but 4 and 5 could be added. You know what I'm saying? Just to give yourself something to work on and stay busy. Don't be just out here floating around. We're going to go ahead and jump into chapter 2, the second verse, Chapter 33, the blessings of Moses. Had this water. Boy, I was thirsty. That water ain't wet enough, though. Put the juice in the back. Always put the juice in the back. Alright, we just gonna run with it. Trying to wet my throat up here. Pause, no diddy. God be with you. The blessings of Moses, chapter 33, Deuteronomy. Now this is the blessing with which Moses, the man of God, blessed the sons of Israel before his death. He said, the Lord came from Sinai and dawned on them from Seir. He shone forth from Mount Paran, and he came from the midst of 10,000 holy ones. At his right hand there was flashing lightning before them. Indeed, he loves the people. All your holy ones are in your hand, and they follow in your steps. Everyone receives of your words. Moses charged us with a law, a possession for the assembly of Jacob, and he was king in Jeshurun. When the heads of the people were gathered, the tribes of Israel together, may Reuben live and not die, nor his men be few. In this regarding Judah, so he said, hear, O Lord, the voice of Judah, and bring him to his people. With his hands he contended for them, and may you be a help against his adversaries. Of Levi he said, let your thumb and your arm belong to your godly man whom you proved at Massa, with whom you contend at the waters of Meribah, who said of his father and his mother, I did not consider them. And he did not acknowledge his brothers, nor did he regard his own sons, for they observed your word and kept your covenant. They shall teach your ordinance to Jacob and your law to Israel. They shall put incense before you and whole burnt offerings on your altar. O Lord, bless his substances and accept the work of his hands. Shatter the lions of those who rise up against him and those who hate him, so they will not rise again. Of Benjamin he said, may the beloved of the Lord dwell in security by him, who shields him all day, and he dwells between his shoulders. Of Joseph he said, blessed of the Lord be his land, with the choice things of heaven, with the dew, and from the deep lying beneath, and with the choice yield of the sun, and with the choice produce of the month, and with the best things of the ancient mountains, and with the choice things of the everlasting hills, and with the choice things of the earth and its fullness, and the favor of him who dwelt in the bush. Let it come to the head of Joseph, and to the crown of his head, of the one distinguished among his brothers, as the firstborn of his ox. Majesty is his. His horns are the horns of the wild ox. With them he will push the people all at once to the ends of the earth. And those are the 10,000 Yirpim. And those are the 10,000 Manasseh. Zebulun, he said, rejoice, Zebulun, in your going forth, and Ishkar in your tents. They will call people to the mountains. They will offer righteous sacrifices, for they will draw out the abundance of the sea and the hidden treasures of the sand. Of Gad he said, blessed is the one who enlarges glad. He lies down as a lion and tears the arm, also the crown of the head. Then he provided the first part for himself, for there the ruler's portion was reserved. And he came with the leaders of the people. He executed the justice of the Lord and his ordinance with Israel. Of Dan he said, Dan is a lion's whelp that leaps forth from Bashan. Of Naphtali he said, O Naphtali, satisfied with favor and full of blessings of the Lord, take possessions of the sea and of south. Of Asher he said, more blessed than sons is Asher. May he be favored by his brothers, and may he dip his foot in oil. Your locks will be iron and bronze. According to your days, so will your leisurely walk be. There is none like the God of Jeshurun, who rides the heavens to your help, and through the skies in his majesty. The eternal God is dwelling place. The eternal God is a dwelling place, and underneath are the everlasting arms, and he drove out the enemy from before you and said, destroy. So Israel dwells in security. The foundation of Jacob scheduled in a land of grain and new wine. His heaven also drops dew down. Blessed are you, O Israel. Who is like you, a people saved by the Lord? Who is the shield of your help and the sword of your majesty? So your enemies will cringe before you, and you will tread upon their high places. So it's only really one more chapter, then we're going to be in Joshua. So we're going to go ahead and do 3 chapters, and we finish with Deuteronomy, moving on to Joshua. So let's get it. The death of Moses, chapter 34. Now Moses went up from the plains of Moab to Mount Nebo to the top of Pisgah, which is opposite of Jericho, and the Lord showed him all the land, Gilead as far as Dan, and all the Naphtali, in the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, and all the land of Judah as far as the western sea, and the Negev and the plain in the valley of Jericho, the city of the palm trees as far as Zoar. Then the Lord said to him, this is the land which I swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, saying, I will give it to your descendants. I will let you see it with your eyes, but you shall not go over it. So Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in the land of Moab according to the word of the Lord, and he buried him in the valley in the land of Moab opposite Beth-peor. But no man knows his burial place to this day. Although Moses was 120 years old when he died, his eyes was not dim, nor his vigor abated. So the sons of Israel wept for Moses in the plains of Moab 30 days. Then the days of weeping and mourning for Moses came to an end. Now Joshua the son of Nun was filled with the spirit of wisdom, for Moses had laid his hands upon him, and the sons of Israel listened to him and did as the Lord had commanded Moses. Since that time, no prophet has risen in Israel like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. For all the signs and wonders which the Lord sent him to perform in the land of Egypt against Pharaoh, all his servants, and all his land, and for all the mighty power, and for all the great terror which Moses performed in the sight of all Israel. And there you have it, folks. That is Deuteronomy. We are now entering Joshua. And we will start there, maybe later on, maybe tomorrow. Depends on how the thing is. All right. Let's go to increasing our financial increase IQ. Nah, I shouldn't do this right now, but I'm gonna do this. Making more money. Putting the financial statement and the cash flow quadrant diagrams together, you may get a clearer picture about your choices for financial IQ number 1, making more money. Again, I'll show y'all the diagram. Y'all can pause it, screenshot it, put it up, and make your own. So the first one, the ES, says income and expense. They got an arrow going down from the jobs to the expense and going out. See how it went? Income, expense, out. And then the next one is the balance sheet. On the bottom it say assets and liabilities. On this one, I know this is horrible, y'all, but this one right now, I don't feel like moving. Sorry, gotta do better. All right, so y'all can see that. And this one says income, assets to the income, while this one is job, income, expense, out. You feel me? Assets, liability. This one said the rich people using assets to get income. Okay, now what this diagram explains is that E and S work for money. They work for a steady paycheck, for a commission, or by the hour. B's and I's work for assets that produce either cash flow or capital appreciation. So that's what you have right there, E's and I's. The E's and I's work for money. The B's and I's work for assets that produce either cash flow. That's how they look. Try to get all good shots. Okay. Moving right along. Moving right along. One of the reasons I make more money than my classmates who sell ships or flew planes is because they work for paychecks. I, on the other hand, wanted to build assets. As an entrepreneur and acquire assets as an investor, in the words E and S's focus on the income column of the financial statement, and B's and I's focus on the asset column. One of the hardest things to get across to E's and I's is that B's and I's don't work for money. A B or I technically works for free, which is a tough concept for many to grasp. E's and I's works to be paid, and they must be paid before they work. Working for free, possibly for years, is not in their emotional or professional makeup. E's and I's may volunteer for charity or work pro bono for worthy causes, but when it comes to personal income, they work for money. As a general rule, they do not work to build or acquire assets, which is most of us. We're not working to build or acquire assets. In accounting terms, an E or S work for income earned or earn income. And a B or I works for passive or portfolio income. In the next chapter of Financial IQ number 2, Protecting Your Money, you will find out why the kind of income a person works for makes a big financial difference. Earned income is the hardest income to protect from financial predators. That is why working for earned income is not financially the smartest thing to do. Many self-employed people do not own a business. They own a job. If self-employed people stop working, their income also stops or declines. By definition, a job is not an asset. Asset puts money in your pocket whether you work or not. If you would like to know more about the difference between the E's and I's, S's, B's, and I's, the E's, S's, B's, and I's quadrants, I encourage you to read my second book in the Rich Dad series, Rich Dad's Cash Flow Quadrant. So I got some, there was some gems in there. I might go through that again later too. There was some gems in there, and I'll let y'all know what I picked up. But I got some. I had to go get some riches. So I'm gonna pray. Father up in heaven, be with me this day. Be with everybody who heard my voice. Hope they get something out of your word. And in Jesus' name, I ask you to be with me all the days of my life. Watch over my family. Watch over my friends and my foes. That's the way that go. Amen. All right, gotta handle business.